I think this year or last year, early, we saw the Naira almost hitting 2,000, and then they intervened, and we saw it goes to 1,200.
Yes, and we were happy.
That
we were full of hope.
1,000, and some people were even saying 800, 900. But today, from there, we saw it again steadily nosedive till we got to 1,750, and then we now saw that rally that everybody was excited about, and we are back here. Look, there's a fundamental problem, and once that fundamental problem is not addressed, you always have this up and down. And what people say is that when the problem is not there, they talk about speculators. Speculators are part of the financial market.
Okay.
They will always be there.
You see, I have two main planks, being an ignoramus in monetary matters and finance matters. Those two main planks that you're going to help us. You've spoken about the speculators, but they also say, it's a theory that people are told every November, December that, oh, the value has appreciated for us in Nigeria because so many in the diaspora are coming back home for the festivities, or they are sending more money than they used to send. So you can imagine a pot that has become full. And with plentitude, every person who has done elementary economics knows that there will be a price drop, competing forces. So we hear that. Number one. Then the other thing, of course, apart from that one, is that role of speculators that you talk about. So let's deal with that matter of an infusion of cash, of dollars into Nigeria. What do you think about that idea, and how real, how true is that?
Over the years, we've seen that happen, but again, it's not going to be able to address the liquidity issue that is obtained, that is happening in the retail side of the market. That comes in years. It comes in a short-term measures. And like somebody said, maybe Santa came so early for the Naira, and it didn't come out when we wanted it to come. It came very early, and so we are back. We are supposed to be enjoying Santa, but now yes. I think Santa came too early for the market. Maybe we had those inflow earlier than we thought. Now, those inflow from Nigerian diaspora, it's not coming like it used to come, because again, they also have their own challenges. They are coming out from the pandemic. They are recovering. There are a lot of bills for them to pay against, what has happened. The job, if you look at the job data in some of this economy in the world where you have Nigerians, it has not been very impressive, again. So those are the challenges. And again, the Nigerians also have reduced their inflow to the country. That's another thing people don't know. The man that used to give his uncle $100 before then used to say that $100 is about 36,000 some years ago, or and when he went to, he say, okay, 50,000, 40,000, 600, 60,000. But today he's now reducing it. He said, because that, I can't say, if I say $100, it's about 150,000. So I reduce it to $50.
Yes.
So you still get 75,000. So
this is the way.
This is the way it's planning now. It's not like they also are looking at the exchange rate. And sometimes you realize that they are more excited of the exchange rate going up than us here, because they said, okay, that will reduce my remittance home.
Yeah.
So that also is playing a role.
A little joke here. Someone was telling me that a person who lives in the UK would send, what he would send either to friends or people he knew. But just as they are calculating it, such as the example you gave, our people are also calculating.
Yes.
So he now sent someone, I think it was in the region of £20, and the person immediately translated it for him and said, what? So I thought you'd do better than that. Look at what you have sent. Look at the small amount it comes back to. And the person was looking at, I didn't borrow you, I didn't lend you, I gave you dash. And look at the sense of privilege that you now have. So we are calculating here, they are calculating.
Because again, you know why it's so that they call it Dirty December. We have a lot of functions. People come around. By this time, the airport will be with a lot of activities. But we are not seeing that.
We're not
seeing that because the current global challenge or local challenge is global, because cost of living also have gone up in those countries also.
They have.
So they also are trying to make do with what they have, and their own rates of increase also have not gone commensurate to cost of living. You remember that's what happened in the American election. That's why you have a Donald Trump coming in for the second time, because the American people felt that economically their life has not improved for the past 4 years. They've been going through a lot of challenges. So definitely that, you see, what we need to understand is that that supply that is coming from Nigerians in the diaspora sometime during this is not enough liquidity to sustain the retail end. The challenge we keep having in the Naira is not the official end that has so much liquidity. You need $100 million, you need $30 million, you need $10 million, you need $1 million. They will sort it. The challenge is the retail side, where that man that need just $500, $1,000, $600. The demand is high and the supply is low in that area. And why is it? Because the CBN has not created a market for that area since they removed the Bureau de Change out of it. So it's a major challenge. I for one was excited about the Naira coming to it, but I'm also still excited that based on the budget of this current administration, we might see that at 1,400. That's what they are telling us, that will be the exchange rate, budget exchange rate. So hopefully with that, we could see the Naira close the year. People are expecting that it will close the year at 1,500. And we are going with that momentum. And by the time we see the budget passed by the National Assembly, it should be hitting 1,400. And the exciting thing is that maybe next week it will happen. The president is presenting the budget to the National Assembly, and we know that it will be passed on time before the next financial year. So maybe that could be a game changer.
Indeed. You know, I'm chuckling because here we are, we're looking at a 1,600 Naira to the dollar exchange rate, and we're talking about an appreciation. And I just look at what we've experienced in this country. Anybody who is around 50, 60 years old, he would just be, you know, shaking his head in one kind melancholy way that, what? We knew when we were making trouble that if you're not careful, this Naira to the dollar will reach 200 Naira. It will reach 200 Naira to the dollar. And so here we have 1,600.
Yeah, I think
an appreciation.
Yes, you see, the challenge is not in us. We pass through most of this crisis over and over. That's the thing I keep saying. We pass through most of this crisis over and over. But unfortunately, we've not been able to sustain stability. You talked about 200. From 200, it moved to 250.
Yes.
From 250, it moved to 360. We maintain stability. Once there's an external shock, COVID came in, we saw that. Low oil output, we saw that. So we must begin to look at what, after stability, what next? Now, when the language we always hear is, once the Naira is suffering, yeah, diversification, we have agriculture, we have this. Once there is stability and oil production has gone up, we forget about it. Once we maintain stability for 1 month, 2 months, we don't even look at that factor that could come and maintain against us and begin to create buffer. We have not created buffer because now today, the CBN can pride themselves that they have moved that reserve from a low of $23 billion to about $40 billion. But what is the essence of moving your currency to that amount, and your exchange rate is still very, very wide?
Which is the sort of challenge to most people understanding it, because the CBN is reporting that, look, we're actually making progress, probably thinking about indices that you just cited. And but it doesn't translate, as you said, maybe especially in the retail sector of the market.
The retail sector of the market is suffering. It doesn't translate.
That we are making progress.
We are making progress.
That CBN is telling us.
Because now, why were we excited about the exchange rate coming to 1,000? We were saying we were quite appreciation. It was not, that appreciation was not driven from the official way. We were looking at the parallel market. Because to every average Nigerian, the parallel market seems to be the real value of the exchange rate rather than the official market. Now, CBN have come up with a lot of...
But Chebi, they said they collapsed the two into one.
Now, they've collapsed it into one. Now, we've collapsed it, we've come up with a structure. Remember, again, even with that structure, Bureau de Change need to recapitalize to be able to maintain liquidity in that retail side. The recapitalization will not happen until sometime 2025, towards June or thereabout. Then they will give new license to those that recapitalize. So now the banks are in there. You are now doing the automated system, which is offer and bid, which is fantastic, with transparency, integrity. That is just started. So we saw that announcement. Let me give you what happened is that fear came to the minds of the speculators.
Oh, okay.
The fear has always been there. When you see the Naira comes, you see that fear. we saw that, oh, CBN is going to introduce this new system, automated system. Secondly, our bonds were oversubscribed by 200 billion. That means liquidity. We have a reserve of 40 billion. So the fear came in. That's why I tell you, speculators are always part of the market. But what you deal with them, because speculators always thrive on fear and greed. That's what they strive on. Now, so once you bring, they are greedy to it to go up. They are afraid when you bring in something too. Once you create more fear into them than greed, then you see that they will shift back, and you see the market will have some momentum. But when they now sit down and look at you and realize that, oh, this measure is just for a short time, you don't have the capacity to maintain it, then they induce them, the greed comes in again, and then we are where we are.
So tell me a bit about speculators in a most simplistic, elementary way for people to understand, especially when they look at our caption of appreciation and role of speculators.
Speculators are like, Uncle Yori, you have $100.
Why are you bringing my name into this matter now?
So you say I should bring it to the simplest term, so that we can understand. Uncle Yori has, somebody said Uncle Yori $100. I'm just using a short term. And Uncle Yori just collect the $100. And I said, they said, okay, I would
have preferred $1,000.
Okay, Uncle Yori have $1,000.
Somebody just sent
$1,000 to you. But if they do, please remember me. Somebody just sent $1,000 to you, and he said, oh, what's the exchange rate? They said, it's 1,500. He said, no, I'm not going to sell. I'll wait for it to get to 1,700.
Yes.
There's no fundamental. You don't look at anything.
It's just a gut feel I have.
Look, this thing will get to 1,700. Once you get to 1,700, I will sell. And you get to 1,700, you say, it be like, say, this thing will reach 2,000. Still hold it.
So you're trying to enter into these forces of supply and demand.
Exactly.
You know, so saying, look, let me withhold it.
Let me hold it. Let me not rush. And by withholding it, you know what? You are reducing the supply. And mark you, the demand is still coming. So the demand is, see, the challenge is that the demands are coming from several quarters. The demands are coming from governments who has large war chests of Naira notes because they want to convert it to dollar. There's a political appointee that wants to travel. There's a special advisor that needs to travel. So it's not, you see, when you people talk about the speculators, unfortunately, since that the governments or some governments, state governors, federal, they are part of it. Because when you see the president travel, he travel with $10. They don't go and spend Naira there.
No, they don't.
They spend dollars. When you see state governors and state House of Assembly members are traveling, they are going to. So all that also cost of governance is going up by the day. And they are not going up by Naira, they are going up by dollar.
And some of those dollars are actually circulating, even though I know it's illegal. You find that high-ranking government officials actually are spending dollars.
Let me tell you what is happening now.
Locally.
Yeah. There are shops in Nigeria that are not supposed, dollar is not our legal tender, but you go to some shops in Nigeria, they are charging you in dollars.
I thought that was illegal.
It's illegal up to date. That's our assembly, the central bank says illegal, but I ask myself, do they not travel? When you go to some of these embassies, they still charge you to pay in dollars. They don't collect Naira. In our own country, nobody is doing anything about it. You can't tell me the members don't travel. You can't tell me government officials don't travel and also so need visas. But they tell us to pay in dollars, and we pay.
Which means we have to go buy the dollars.
We go buy the dollars. So all these are about what is entering pressure. Then the corruption side of it is there. A lot of people, when they steal the Naira because of the EFCC, they know it's not safe these days to even keep it in the bank. The EFCC will come after you. What do? They take that Naira and begin to look for how they can change it to dollar. So that means the demand for dollar is high because they want to keep it in their home. They don't want to put it in the bank. And that's why the CBN knows this. That's why the time you hear the CBN governor say, we are going to give you a window of opportunity. You can bring any dollar you have at home. Nobody is going to question you. We are going to... So all these things are known. Like I keep saying that it's not Nigeria does not have... It's not that Nigeria don't have a law to fight whatever they want to fight. Unfortunately, we are not always ready to fight it because most of the people that are supposed to fight it are culpable of the same offense.
Oh. So, I say it again. So here we are talking about the appreciation of the Naira, and we're talking about 1,600 Naira to the dollar.
And we're even clapping our hands.
And we're clapping. We're clapping.
We're clapping that the Naira is coming down.
Yes.
It's just, they just bring you to the ability of man to adapt.
And you know, everything in this town, by which I mean anywhere you happen to be in, you can say in this town, is actually affected by the exchange rate. So
yes,
much so that people...
Because we are a dollarized economy. Why is it like that? Some people say, no, it's not true. Why is it like that? Is even when the thing is locally produced, the machines that you use to produce it are imported.
Yeah.
So there's also challenge because, again, if you look at agricultural product, which seems to be the most expensive these days, that's causing the kind of inflation we are having. And a lot of people say, why? We manufacture some of these things, we get them locally. But you are forgetting that they bring in those machines internationally and they pay tariff for those machines. The game changer was what the president said during his October 1st broadcast, that every food item that's coming tariff will not be paid on them. That we're looking forward to it. But later on, Customs said, no, it has to go to the National Assembly. It's a legislation issues. Now the Tax Reform Committee is saying it's part of what we are trying to get to. So we have not seen, by December, the whole idea was that by December, their policy would have come to an end. It was going to be a 6-month policy, but it didn't see the light of day. And so, because we are still highly demanding things that are coming from abroad. Yeah, even if you look at energy, you look at what was made us to believe that once Dangote refinery come on stream, 60% of our imports, pressure on our Naira is largely driven by importation of refined petroleum products, and that will stop. We will now become exporters. But when that, all the drama around that, even the NNPC say, look, we are going to continue to import fuel. As long as it's cheaper for us, independent marketers got themselves together. The marketers that could not get dollars before, they were shouting there was no dollar. All of a sudden, they had dollar to bring in large quantity of refined petroleum.
To compete with anybody, they didn't feel happy with his price.
With his price. So it's all about that. We know what to do, but maybe we don't have the political will to do it yet.
Wow. This is because everything that you just explained, it relates especially to the whole fuel sector, whether it is aviation fuel or even our
aviation fuel is even stable. Diesel is stable. Today, last week I was looking, NNPC filling station was selling diesel at 1,150. And that yesterday, you pass through there, you see that they are paying diesel at 1,109 Naira. So diesel, remember that this was a diesel that was almost going beyond it was hitting like 1,600, 1,700. When we saw that Dangote refinery came, there was no noise that the diesel was contaminated or was good. But mainly it came to PMS, everything changed.
It just changed.
So that's the challenge.
Right now, the diesel and the PMS, I think they're in the same territory.
They are the same territory because now I'm telling you that this is selling for 1,109 Naira.
Can you imagine?
PMS is in some stations, PMS is selling for 1,025, some is 1,050, some is 1,070. So you can see that we might even see a situation whereby the diesel might just even be lower than PMS because going forward, because now with all credits to those that are in Band A, they don't buy diesel that much again because they have power to an extent and they are paying for that power, so they don't see need to begin to buy diesel again. So that's what we call about demand and supply. So most of you remember the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria also were complaining about the high cost of Band A. So they are now also, they are not buying so much of this again because they have power for some certain amount of time because of the band that they are in. So it's only those that are in band C and Band D and will be having problems. So that's the challenge.
Wow. As you said, there are so many dimensions, but the way out is probably haven't understood that, okay, you people sit down in the studio, they are talking fine grammar, and you are saying this is an appreciation for the Naira. Oh yeah, how do we come out of this?
Yeah, we are already, you see, that's why I say we are already coming out. I want to say we are already coming out because if you say it was 1,700, we are seeing it driving down now. What have they done? I think the CBN is trying to bring integrity, but it's taking too long. Okay. And they are the one that caused this problem themselves because, again, they were the one that moved it from 9 something to 1,400 to merge with the parallel market. And They thought that with that they can be able to drive it low, but that was a mistake. That is now costly. Now, they are doing what they have to do now. Like we talked about that system that they have introduced, the automated system. We're talking about the bond that we are
was actually oversubscribed.
Okay. We're talking also about the product. Remember that by next year we'll have what they are trying to say diaspora bond, when Nigerians, the diasporas, will be asked to invest in a Nigerian dollar-dominated bond, but they call it diaspora bond. So they are creating product to earn liquidity. Our oil output is getting better. OPEC say we are now back to the highest producing nation in Africa, 1.4 million barrels per day. But yesterday we were made to say that we've even hit 1.7 million barrels. So we are making progress because that's our major source of FX. So I think we are making progress. But again, it's Paul Alaje that will always say this comment. He always said, if you commit spiritual sin, you go to God and you pray, Father, have mercy, forgive me. And God will forgive you. You say, your sin I remember no more. But when you commit economic sin, you must pay the price for it. So whatever we are going through now was the part of the economic sins that we have committed long through the years, and even with this current administration. So we are paying the price for our economic sins.
Okay, let's take a break at this stage. We'll come back, continue to talk about Naira, and those in diaspora and those that are watching us on our YouTube channel will be able to call in. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hello, TVC Communications. How can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice for my business?
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC Entertainment with Wake Up Nigeria, a family and lifestyle show. Your view empowers women globally.
It's your view, let it count.
Entertainment Splash delivers the hottest celebrity trends. On TVC News, we keep you informed with breaking news and in-depth analysis of events shaping the world.
I will continue to speak the truth.
TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. delivers the most important stories of the day. Max FM, your hit music radio station, captivates listeners daily across Lagos and Abuja, making every commute more enjoyable. Adaba 88.9 FM is not left out, as it is the voice of Southwest. And TVC Digital will reach 2 million viewers daily. All together pulls in over 17 million viewers daily. Contact us on 0707 272 8338 or marketing at tvccommunications.tv. Partner with TVC Communications today. Let's grow together.
You're watching Beyond 100 Days with Nithani Ogutoye. President Tinubu, since he assumed office,
we are on our way to progress.
6 out of the 8 APC federal lawmakers have a movement structure that is going to take back our party in Enugu State. Because this one I'm seeing is just by moonlight. It's not working.
So I'm wondering what you think, or who you think can stop him now.
He doesn't own the party.
One of the causes of inflation is because people cannot go to the farm.
The government still needs to do more so that people can eat.
I believe
Okay, welcome back. We're looking at Naira and its appreciation, even though it's still a very tough place to be, in that we've actually been in much better places before. But it's an appreciation because there was a time when it zoomed right up to 1,800. People were even saying, would this thing not hit 2,000? So here we are now, we're looking at 1,600, and as far as figures go, it is a sort of appreciation. Okay, Mukhtar Mohammed is our guest, and he's helping us understand why these things are the way that they are. So Nigerians have to hang in there, especially as I mentioned earlier, the central banker assures us that we are making progress. It just remains for us to be patient and let this whole thing trickle down. But, Mukhtar, tell us a bit about the bonds, especially as one hears the encouraging word oversubscribed attached to these bonds. If bonds are oversubscribed, that shows a certain enthusiasm.
Exactly. Exactly. But again, that is relative because you are an investor. You are looking at the returns. Our bonds were paying the highest return in Africa, even globally, so about 8.20%. So definitely everybody wants. That's why you see the oversubscription. As an investor, sometimes investors do not look at sentiment. They don't look at sentiment. They look at what they are paying. They don't look at fundamentals. They are also like the speculators. Sometimes they look at the bond. They look at which country is doing that bond. They have the well. They have oil. They have this. So you look at their return. If some of the African countries, their return when they came to the bond market was about 4.something%. 6%, but we are doing about 8.5% bond. So definitely that makes it very attractive. Because in their own economy, they cannot even get a return of 4.something% in their own investment. And then you are seeing a country that's telling you that with your euro bond, coming in for euro bond, you can put in dollars and have 8% return on your dollar. So definitely they will want to invest. And that's why we saw those oversubscription. And then you see why we are now, people say, okay, why are you not making your own low? Because we are there's what they call the frontier index market, which is like emerging market frontier index, where you have countries that are listed, and they tell you if a foreign investor wants to invest in Nigeria or in any of he goes to that frontier index and look at what's said about this country. Now we are out of that index because sometime when we were not having that time, we have these trap funds. The previous administration was not doing anything. There was no two-way insistence. We were removed from that index. So once you are not in that index, for me as an investor to invest in it's now becoming a risky investment. So for you to attract people to invest, then you have to give them a high return on that investment. That is what is happening to our bond. It's not just because, they have confidence in our market. Okay. It's because we are giving them a higher return that they cannot get any other place.
So in addition to things we suffer from at the hands of speculators, there is also this situation that you are explaining.
But again, you see, he that is down, fear no fall. And so we are just trying to look at every way to boost the liquidity of the Naira, of boost liquidity in the exchange market. Because I think the CBN, finally, the last Monetary Policy Committee meeting, the CBN governor said that they finally realized, which we have been talking for years, that the major cause of inflationary pressure is the exchange rate. And they are going to do everything possible to maintain stability. And even if the CBN governor in that meeting said they've been able to maintain stability, I said no, Mr. Governor, you were not able to maintain stability. You were in a corridor of stability. Okay. It's a corridor because we're seeing it move from 16, 17, 16, 17. So it was not a stability, it was in a corridor. We will now know that the exchange rate does not pass this corridor. So sorry when I say Mr. Governor, so I don't think it's the governor of Lagos State.
No, Governor Central
Bank.
CBN governor. They have their work cut out for them. A lot of people don't want to be in their shoes right now because it's a thankless job that they're doing.
We must say that Mr. Cardoso, when he took over the job as the CBN governor, knew the task that was before him. And I think he has always said it. But again, they've not done anything differently from the previous CBN government. That's the truth.
Is that the truth of the matter?
That's the truth of the matter.
Is it because there's very little wiggle room when they come to the kind of...
I don't know for now, but they've not done anything with the hike rate. That's what they met, the Hoshi. And they have been doing the same thing. Even sometimes they have been doing it higher than the previous one. So there's nothing have changed. We were talking about cash crunch. That happened during the previous administration. Management of CBN, we are still seeing that cash crunch presently now.
You're right, Thank you very much for reminding me about that. There's a shortage, and I think we've done some programs on that, on other programs. There's this cash shortage. Even the banks, some banks, it is reported, are not allowing you more than 5,000 Naira at the automatic teller machine.
And teller machine, even over the counter, you don't get more than 20,000 Naira.
How can that be?
That's for what we own, we control.
Yes.
Talk less of what we don't control. We don't print dollar, we print Naira. And now we don't even have enough to go to. I think the thing is that yesterday we were in the papers, we go to the paper yesterday, CBN said money in circulation has increased. And yet we are having so that tells you what I said before. A lot of this money that the CBN thinks are in circulation are not in the public view.
They're actually being hoarded somewhere.
Hoarded by corrupt officials. So you don't see those money. And when those money comes out, they are going after dollars.
So that's because I was going to ask you where it disappears to. And the worst thing you could probably do in a situation like that is to go print Naira notes.
We can't do that because, again, we have been
We can't, but it was said that some previous administrations did that.
So, and again, you see the challenge is, like I keep saying it, said it in your program before, is that the most vibrant sector of the Nigerian economy is liquidity driven. What's the most vibrant sector of the Nigerian economy? Is the small businesses in the rural area, or in the urban rural area, or in the urban area. Thank God for some of these fintech companies that have come, and that is working in the urban area.
It's really helping the unbanked.
Yes, but it's not in the rural area where we get some of these food items. So when you squeeze liquidity out of the system, it has an effect on our cost of living, because that means you are starving liquidity of one of the most productive sectors in the Nigerian economy, and then you will suffer for it. We've not even recovered from the Naira redomination or whatever they call it that Emefiele management was doing when they starved of liquidity. It was those smaller businesses that were suffering. It's supposed to be a tool to handle inflation. But like I keep saying, Nigeria inflationary pressure is not driven because there's so much liquidity in the system. It's driven because our exchange rate is high. So once you begin to say, okay, you want to address that problem, is to remove liquidity in the system, you are causing more problems. And you are killing more businesses, and you are sending a lot of Nigerians into the unemployed market.
So it becomes a vicious cycle.
It's a cycle. That's why some people say you don't say it, but it's a copy and paste that we've been paying. Look, I tell them, I said, we started this copy and paste with the US, we started it with the UK, we started it with some of the developed economy. We've seen how the copy and paste have brought their inflation down to almost nothing. But our own copy and paste of hiking rate, reducing liquidity, has taken us from even 21 that we started to 33.
So, and you know, we've always heard from you and other economists that, you know what, the sure way out is to boost massively our production capacity.
Exactly.
For us to begin to actually have right now it is crude.
Yes,
that's
crude. It's the only one.
That's the only one.
Even when you see when we had low productivity in the crude oil, you saw that we're doing 900,000 barrels. They said, oh, we're not contributing so much to the GDP. In terms of output, they were not, but in terms of value, they were more than the 98% that you see the non-agricultural sector is bringing. Because the Nigerian is not bringing so much effect into the Nigerian economy. A 900,000 barrels per day is bringing more money into the Nigerian economy than a 98% increment in non-oil sector. You see, that's why I'm happy that they are looking at the diaspora. Before the advent of COVID, sometime in 2018 or 2019, diaspora remittance was larger than the amount we had in crude oil. Money from the diaspora that came into this economy was larger than what we made through crude oil at that time. So we have a diaspora commission. I think they need to partner with them to really help in bringing stability, because what I've seen is that a lot of Nigerians in the diaspora want to come and invest in this country, but they need assurance. Indeed. And they need a platform. Indeed. India today has over 780 something billion dollars in their reserve. It's largely driven by their diaspora remittance. Indians.
Because
they are exporting intellectual properties to other countries.
They are.
And those intellectual properties will say that if you have to pay them, you pay some of them in the local currency of where they stay, and then you pay the dollar equivalent to their home country.
You know, well, yeah, you're spot on. But I wonder how long that is going to remain the case, because you just mentioned India, and I was thinking of countries that depend on immigration to people, their country. And Canada comes to mind.
Yeah.
When you look at Indians and Canada, the whole thing is falling apart now.
It's falling apart. Definitely.
It's falling apart.
It's falling apart. But again, that's why we talk about building your buffer. If you have built a buffer when it was good, when it comes to fall apart, it's not, the effect will not be as much as you think it should be.
Because remember
during we had the global economic crisis.
Yes.
During President Obasanjo's time. But because we have built a buffer, at that time our reserve was about $100 billion. We saw the exchange rate was stable despite the global economic crisis.
Since you mentioned Obasanjo, you know he did a lot in terms of debt forgiveness and putting the economy where it should be. And he has been complaining bitterly too that all the money I left in that place, thinking that it was for Nigeria, maybe it is Nigeria that has spent it, but we don't have the advantage anymore.
You see, when Obasanjo came, we were like a pariah nation. Nobody wanted to do business with us. And I think he had the magic word, bringing in somebody like Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. And today we are seeing that she's still striving.
She is?
She's still striving. So you could see the type of management team President Obasanjo had. He had a person that was globally, at that time she was the managing director of the World Bank. Now became the finance minister. He was able to look for debt forgiveness through the Paris Club, was able to attract foreign direct investors, portfolio investors. And then, remember, she was the one that created the SS crude account. That some part money should be going set aside. She was the one that came up with the oil benchmark should be low, so that when we get above that, you cannot save it. When incoming administration came in, they said the SS crude account has no legal backing. Remember Governor Rotimi Amechi, governors of the Governors Forum, said then, give us our money. We have the constitutional right to spend our money the way we want to spend it.
Oh dear.
Even then, the then governor of Edo State, now Senator Adam Oshomole, also said the same thing. and that how we have depleted that SS crude account. And and the last time they said it's not even, it's about whether $100 million or thereabout. Then we now created the sovereign wealth fund. Now, since we came in, we have not been putting so much money into the sovereign welfare, just like every oil producing nation does. The sovereign wealth fund is an investment vehicle that oil producing nations use to invest in other critical sectors of the economy. But in our own case, we have created that sovereign wealth fund, but we have not really been putting so much money there so that we can be a vehicle that will drive diversification.
It's conditions that make a fish bend. They will probably tell us that we're broke.
We're broke.
We're broke. What Mukhtar is saying is good. We should and we want to put in that, but we're broke.
But again, you put the benchmark. This is legislation too. You put the benchmark that oil is $65 and you sell it to $75. What it means that for every $10 should be saved and should be sent to the sovereign wealth fund for investment into other key sectors so that you create a buffer.
Okay.
But that is not being done.
Okay. Maze Okorafor, good morning to you, sir, and thank you for holding on. Go ahead now.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, our guest. That's Master for Kumari. You see, what we are facing today in Nigeria, when we talk about Nigeria and Naira from the north, you see, the major issue is this. If the CBN authority, all those people that are monitoring sectors policy, they have people that are monitoring what is going on in Nigeria in terms of, especially, let's pick up one, the POS people. You see, the way some of them do this business now, they now talk to exploiting the populace. You will come now, somebody will come and give you 2,000 naira, will tell you bring 100 naira. Somebody will come and give you 5,000 naira, say you go and bring 250. You see, are they selling the Nigerian money again? Because there's no proper monitoring of what they are doing. Everybody see that fix their own price anyway when you say so, if you like. Especially during weekends, when some of these our ATM are not no currency for people to have access to. That is when they exploit people. And what do? Nigeria have no option because you need that money to do the needful. You must pay what they want. Especially now, when you go to these market days, there is no town or local government that doesn't have market days. This is where you see that I think there is need for the central bank authorities to be monitoring all those our market days, all the local markets to help the needful. And the way we are moving, honestly, I pray by the grace of God, by the 17th when the president will tell us about the new budget, there must be a benchmark for our currency because the way we are going now, if you don't touch that before the 30th of December now, To get $1 now, you have to pay at maybe 2,000 naira, which is not healthy. It affects all the sectors of the economy. It affects the manufacturers. In fact, it affects the buyers. And the other so that people come this around and buy things and store at the detriment of the masses, which is not healthy. Every day we carry a holy book and be preaching. Thou shalt not do this. Thou shalt not do that. This. The needful is what we did now. Good morning.
Good morning, Mazi.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mazi Okorafor.
I think I totally agree with Mazi Okorafor on the POS monitoring. You want to ask yourself, why did we come out with the POS? Was to bridge it on bank, especially in the rural area. And when they bring meeting, the POS operator had a limit. It's for somebody that needs 20,000. It was, I think the idea for gone was 50,000. But these days, you go to POS and people get as high as 1,500,000 because of lack of monitoring. This POS is supposed to meet the end user, especially in the rural area. But they have not constituted themselves to be even like the bank. So that is a challenge that has to do with monitoring. And like Mazi Okorafor said again, is what I've said, the vibrant sector, the small sector is largely driven by cash. Yeah. It's not driven by going to, like she said, go to his place in Arochukwu and you go to one market in Mbunu, in Arochukwu, and you're telling them you want to do a transfer. The woman will tell you, I don't know what is transfer. All he wants is his cash. So that is, again, once you say that you're killing the information, he's saying the CBN should monitor, which I agree, maybe they will do what the previous CBN government did. Remember when they said there was cash flow, they were using cash to take cash to rural area. Maybe CBN should begin to take cash to those markets.
Can you imagine? I mean, we've seen all sorts where we're trying to make ends meet and make it all make sense. The point that Mazi broke up and that you've just brought up and that you've just commented on, this whole matter about the attitude of Nigerians to money, because I imagine there will be some foreigners who are watching this abroad and they won't understand what you people are talking about, because look at this money business. People now are carrying POS machines around, and you can call someone up if he's not close to you. Please come. I need 50,000 naira and all of that. They get money. They are supplied with money, so they can actually make money available to you. Go to your bank, and I'm not sure you will be as at least as certain as they are. Every weekend, go to any event center. Now that we've come out of the pandemic, and there are people openly selling currency to you.
And again, it's supposed to be banned.
Openly.
CBN have said hawking of currency is banned.
It's not banned.
It's considered a year. I mean, about 6 months imprisonment. Yes. EFCC said, but that's what I keep saying. That
they don't care.
We have laws, but we are not implementing it. I went to the UK once. I was going to the UK, and I went to the bank, and they were giving me 20 pounds. I said, why are you giving me 20 pounds? That would be, no, give me 50 pounds. Give me 50. The lady was telling me, look, better. I said, no. So they gave me 50 pounds. And I went to the to the UK. And I wanted to buy something. I gave them 50 pounds. And the guy was looking at me like, you have 50 pounds.
You have 50 pounds.
They have to go and start looking it through their machine to be sure that it's not fake. 50 pounds. They were more comfortable with 20 pounds or 10 pounds than you giving them 50 pounds.
Yeah.
They were looking at it like, are you sure this money?
And that's a report on the situation of their own economy over there.
Yeah.
And we brought our own Nigerian economy sense or experience and said, look, no, don't weigh my pocket down. Give me 50 pounds. If not 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And look at the situation.
Today, Uncle Yori, you go to the Bureau de Change. You have $50. Maybe you want to change $100. You have 50-50. And you have $100. One. They will be that comes with the 50-50. If they say there's 1,500, because it's $50, they'll tell me that they will not buy it.
Yes.
They will tell me that they will buy it for 1,400.
Yes.
Because it is 50-50 I'm bringing.
Worse still, you want to show them $1 bills.
No, they don't even collect. Even the banks even say that they don't collect $1
We don't want.
Collect $1 bill. So these are all fundamental issues
and
that our regulators should be on top of it. And that's why they say the buck still fall on CBN. They are the one to regulate. They are not regulating.
And there's also a psychological aspect. This little point I made about go to any event center up on the weekend, starting from Saturday, and you will find somebody there ready to sell you mint
that you don't get in the bank.
That you won't get in the bank. Mint notes. So you see, the bank is not listening. The bank is insisting on doing illegal things. And
because there's no sanction.
And then Nigerians that are taking these brand new notes, that are buying it, what are they going to do? They're going to go and waste it. They're going to take it, go into that place, and begin to spray it around.
After we saw arrests of celebrities, and nothing came out of it, we are back to that stage. These days, Nigerians, before now, when we were seeing those arrests, if they want to spray money publicly, they have a way, they were behaving themselves.
Yes.
But now we are back to that status where you see people just spray money anyhow, because they just realize that, okay, it was at that time, maybe it was targeted at somebody.
Yeah.
Now everything is free. So we are back.
So, well, we have to go by the official rate in conclusion, which is that the Naira is indeed appreciating. It doesn't matter what you think of that word. The Naira is appreciating. We shall be going back by time. As of this time, it is appreciating.
We saw Mazi say that it will get to 2,000. Some people have been predicted that the Naira will get to 2,500 when it was 1,800.
Yes.
People were even saying that if care is not taken, we hit 5,000 for it. But you could see that we have the magic word. We have a way of doing things. And I think, you see, every CBN governor have come up with his own magic word. We are still waiting for the magic word of Mr. Cardoso. Remember when the Emefiele came, the rate went to 500. And it came with the import-export window. And we saw that rate crash to 360. Maybe this automated...
So we're waiting for
might just be the game changer.
Maybe Mr. Cardoso. We're waiting for Mr. Cardoso's hand.
We need these magic words.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mukhtar. You know, as always, it's a delight, to have a chat with you on these subject matters that everybody wants to be an expert on, but sometimes it can be quite arcane. Okay. So appreciate you for coming. Actually, I'll be going off on vacation, annual vacation, so it will take a time before we meet again. But of course,
you see what I said. You have the dollars to go out.
Nifemi is going to be in charge on the program. Never mind about dollars. I don't think my money will carry me past Abeokuta the way the things are. There are those who are going to Bahamas. I wish them well. So that's our program. Do please join us on Monday when Nifemi will be on the seat here. Bye-bye for now.
Hello, TVC Communications. How can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice for my business?
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC Entertainment with Wake Up Nigeria, a family and lifestyle show. Your view empowers women globally.
It's your view, let it count.
Entertainment Splash delivers the hottest celebrity trends. On TVC News, we keep you informed with breaking news and in-depth analysis of events shaping the world.
I will continue to speak the truth.
TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. delivers the most important stories of the day. Max FM, your hit music radio station, captivates listeners daily across Lagos and Abuja, making every commute more enjoyable. Adaba 88.9 FM is not left out, as it is the voice of Southwest. And on TVC Digital, we reach to million viewers daily. All together, pulls in over 17 million viewers daily. Contact us on 0707 272 8338 or marketing at tvccommunications.tv. Partner with TVC Communications today. Let's grow together.
You're watching Beyond 100 Days with Nifemi Oguntoye. President Tinubu, since he assumed office,
They are on our way to progress.
6 out of the 8 APC federal lawmakers have a movement structure that's going to take back our party in Enugu State. Because this one I'm seeing is just by moonlight. It's not working.
so I'm wondering what you think or who you think can stop him now.
He doesn't own the party.
One of the causes of inflation is because people cannot go to the farm.
The government still needs to do more so that people can eat.
I believe we're clamoring for is more responsible use of social media. Not that people just go in there and think that they can say anything to anybody.
Tinubu is not one who believes in the simple. I mean, he wants to get it done. He will face it. He will get it done.
Yes, the president, from inception of his administration, focused squarely on diversifying the economy and driving in investments to cushion the effect of everything that we've seen, ranging from COVID-19 to the global commodity shocks, global financial crisis, and all of that.
I was privileged to have worked under a governor who believed in the system, who also built up the system, and I'm going to do same.
All right, that's our show today, everyone. Thanks for being a part of it.
TVC News, first with breaking news.
Sometimes